Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
It's December and दिवाली चलो ख़त्म हो गया, लेकिन अब सीज़न है शादियों का and Christmas और New Year की छुट्टियाँ भी आसपास आ गई है. In other words, it's family time. You will end up spending a lot of time with them, but not all of us can claim to have a wonderful relationship with each member of the extended family. So what do you do when you're forced to spend holiday time in the proximity of a toxic relative? वैसे तो it's normal to experience an occasional misunderstanding, disagreement, or even selfishness among family members. But if you find that your relationships with family members, or maybe one member in particular, are especially difficult, you may want to take some time to examine that relationship more closely and see how that affects your general and mental well-being. Here are some tips on managing difficult relationships with family. Begin by asking yourself if the relationship is unsafe or just a little awkward to manage. अगर आपका कोई relationship within your family is abusive, you might want to consider limiting your interactions with this person. In fact, research shows that prolonged conflict with people as well as negative relationships can impact your mental health. Remind yourself that you have no control over another person's actions, but आप अपना reaction change कर सकते हो. You can suggest meeting someplace neutral. Choosing a location where you can both feel at ease can also help create a calmer atmosphere. Meeting in public often leads people to be on their best behavior, as most don't like to attract attention or create a scene. अपने आप को mentally prepare करो for your interactions. If you know you have a gathering coming up where you will be interacting with a difficult family member or members, it can help to prepare yourself beforehand. For instance, अगर आपकी कोई ऐसे relative है जो persistently आपके career choices या life choices को criticize करता है or makes insensitive remarks, think about how you might respond if that happens. Being prepared ahead of time can help you navigate difficult conversations and interactions with less stress. If they are prone to anger, manipulation, or bullying, you may want to consider whether or not interacting with this family member is in your best interest. Just because they are family does not mean you are required to be emotionally abused in some way. Avoid sensitive topics in conversations. If the conversation about religion, politics, money usually result in heated arguments, try your best to avoid the topic. कभी-कभी लोग volatile topics इसलिए discuss करते हैं because they enjoy the drama that surrounds them. If you're not arguing with them or trying to prove a point, they may tire of the discussion. Of course, if their comments become too much for you, there's nothing wrong with excusing yourself and stepping out to clear your head. Pay attention to your emotions. If you're spending a lot of time with a difficult family member, make sure you're keeping tabs on your emotions. आप अपने stress levels पे ध्यान दीजिए and understand your own limitations. If you're feeling particularly upset or stressed out, try deep breathing or other relaxation techniques. Also, look out for ways that you can get a break from the stress, like maybe आप washroom जा सकते हो, or if you have a pet, maybe you can take it outside. If the entire situation gets too much, don't be afraid to cut the visit short. Although it can be very challenging not to react when a family member says something outrageous or obnoxious, it's important that you pause before responding. You want to be sure that your response is calm and measured. Not only can this type of response prevent unnecessary arguments, it also keeps you from being pulled into the drama. Refrain from people pleasing. अक्सर ऐसा होता है कि when dealing with difficult family members, it feels very tempting to engage in people pleasing, especially to keep the peace. लेकिन आपको याद रखना है कि staying true to yourself is always more important than pleasing others. अगर आपका relationship आपके किसी family members के साथ toxic, painful या abusive है, you may want to consider whether or not you want to maintain contact with this person. Sometimes the healthiest thing to do is to put some distance between the two of you, rather than trying to maintain an unhealthy relationship. That said, there'll often be times when you have to interact with this family member, जैसे शादी हो गया या त्योहार हो गया. As a result, it can be helpful to be prepared. Set your boundaries. Decide ahead of time what things you won't tolerate and what you will do if your family member crosses that line. Of course, you don't have to share your boundaries with them unless you want to. Just make sure you honor them if your family member crosses a line. Give yourself permission to leave. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. बैठे रहने से सब कुछ solve नहीं होता. You should never force yourself to endure abuse for the sake of family. If your family member verbally abuses you or bullies you in some way, give yourself permission to leave. Be selective about what information you share. Unfortunately, जो लोग toxic होते हैं, they're usually not trustworthy. For this reason, be careful about the information you share. Abusive लोग अक्सर personal information अपने benefit के लिए, आपका advantage लेने के लिए या आपको manipulate करने के लिए use करते हैं. So please do be careful about what you are sharing. Although it might seem unfair that you are the one who is trying to find ways of navigating a difficult family member or a relationship with them, keep in mind that the only thing you can control in this situation is your own behavior. लेकिन एक plus side भी है. Learning how to cope with difficult family relationships or navigating challenging family dynamics can benefit you in the long run. Once you have some tools in your arsenal, जो भी आपके interactions होते हैं with your difficult family member will be less taxing for you. आप इन्हीं tools को family के outside के difficult या toxic relationships को navigate करने के लिए भी use कर सकते हैं. Mind over matter का ये episode अगर आपको अच्छा लगा तो प्लीज़ इस वीडियो को like और share करें और हमारे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें. हमें हमारे social media handles पे भी follow करें. Thank you.